Okay, so there are not many DIY videos on how to adjust the rear suspension with BC racing coilovers, or I would imagine KW is probably the same, where the top mount is not a part of the structure of the coilover, where you can just loosen one thing and then thread it down. This would not thread because the preload is part of it. So what I've deduced is, I marked, by the way, where the spring sits since I lowered it enough to be able to do it by hand. And I had to use a chisel and a hammer, so awesome design. I don't think they can help it, but it's annoying. So what I deduce is, whatever you're going to lower it by threading the shock body, the body of the coilover into this threading down, see, into here, you need to also deduct the same amount from the preload that it came with. So it came with 1.75 inches of preload of threading showing underneath the lowest collar, right here. So I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna deduct 0.75 inches and see where it sits. I don't want to put it on the ground, so I don't know. I guess it would make sense to put it as low as I can and then deduct 1.75 from 4 5/8, which is what was showing here from the top up here down was 4 5/8. But what I think is I'm going to deduct 0.75, thread it in to 0.75, and then tighten up the preload back up to the same amount so that it's putting the same amount of pressure on the spring as what came from the factory by BC Racing. So let's see. Knock it off the bottom. Now it's loose because obviously you've backed it off entirely. What I need to do is measure this and deduct 0.75 so that I know where to stop. And then you just lean it forward and turn the entire shock body up. Okay. Last piece of the puzzle. I think I mentioned it, but mark where your spring goes and where it sits in the perch so that you know that it's aligned. The other pain in the ass was getting this back on because it was hitting the perch. But tighten up the preload on the spring before trying to set it back on there, and you can just barely squeeze it on, and then use a little tappity tap hammer, get it on there.